And we are live.
Yay! Hi.
Hello.
You know
Who
what
are
really
we?
a really loud motorbike is passing by right now. We are Dramas Over Flowers in the noisy middle of the night.
Yes, I'm Anissa.
And I'm Saya.
Oh, we're out of order today.
Yeah, that sometimes has to happen to keep things fresh.
Yeah, and we're back with another live stream. I wasn't at the last one, but this time Orma's sitting out and I'm here.
We threw Barma out this time. Next time you probably throw me out.
Yes. No. Next time hopefully it'll all be all three of us.
Oh,
Actually, next time will probably be we have one coming up that's going to be our anniversary live.
oh
So
yeah.
definitely all three be there for that.
Happy 7th birthday!
Yes, happy 7th birthday to us. I cannot believe we're so old. We will keep that for next time, the existential. But for now, we wanted to continue our deep dive into, not a deep dive, a shallow dive into the
Very
2014
shallow dive. I
dramas.
can't swim. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so y'all were working from this Diaddicts list of 2014 dramas, which I think I can make Barma proud and figure out how to share. So let me do that so you can follow along with the dramas that we are talking about.
There
So
are
you should be able to see
126
that.
dramas to get through, you know.
So many dramas.
We got through like 5 last time.
Yeah, so you all got through Blade Man, right?
Yes.
And what were you planning to talk about next?
Bride of the Century. Which, have you watched that one?
Yes, I love Bride of the Century. I
It's
feel like
so
we talked about
good.
this recently on
Yeah,
one of
we
the
did.
podcast episodes.
Was it on the podcast or was it in the group chat? I can't remember. But I feel like we spoke about it very recently. And yeah, this is the Lee Hung-gi drama with what's her name? The bodyguard from City Hunter. Yang Jin-sung, is that her name?
I think so.
I clicked on the link and I'm reading her as the top credit. So she played a double role in this. Like, she played identical twins.
Yes.
And that was really fun. And then she disappeared.
I haven't seen anything with her for a long time. Let me click on this so you can see the poster, hopefully. Oh, the poster's really small. You can't really see, but there are the leads in the middle. This is one of those like contract marriage type dramas, but she's also like she's impersonating her doppelganger, right?
Yeah, they weren't twins. That's right.
They weren't twins. It was just a doppelganger, and then like he needed a wife for reasons, for drama reasons. And he was like, "Oh, you look just like my fiance," and she disappeared. So just be my wife.
The disappeared one was like a gold digger or something, right?
She wasn't a great person. Yeah. And I don't know I can't remember now. All I remember, honestly, like very little about the plot, but I just remember that they were very cute together. Like great chemistry. Just one of those, like we were talking about that we've started to see again, like mid-budget, relatively low key, just like really nice, lovely dramas, like a romance drama that has a charming cast and like characters that you root for. So,
and also, like the story was really good for being low budget. It was a solid story. It carried all the way to the end, and it made sense. And it was really like it had a good mystery. The mystery was really important. I remember that being like the reason that you keep on watching every week. It's like I need to know what happens next. And also, Lee Hung-gi kind of like his star rose at this point, and then it kind of went down as well, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, although I mean, it wasn't also partly that he was focusing more on his singing career.
Oh, it could be
because like he's part of this not insignificantly popular rock band. Yeah, exactly. FT Island was pretty big at this time, so maybe he just didn't have time.
That could be true. That could be true. But also, because he has really excellent comedic timing as well. But he did turn up, like, even recently he hasn't really come back to drama, because I remember seeing him doing a very small role in Melting Me Softly. And I feel like his image has changed a bit as well. Like, he has sort of gone into his Ajashi era, and his Flower Boy era isn't really... This sounds really bad.
But no, but he's slowly moving into that comfortable, like, elder statesman rocker.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and I think he's like totally fine with it. He also did this, I think he did We Got Married around this time. And if you remember We Got Married, it was that like variety show where they like get fake married,
yeah.
for the reality show, and they have to go through all these like milestones. They have the wedding, they have the honeymoon, and they have to like they're basically playing house together.
Yeah.
That's such a weird it was fun though. I watched a lot of We Got Married.
Date, but like
yeah. But he was really charming on that too. So he's just charm personified.
I really like him.
Yeah. And Yang Jin Sung too was very charming. I wonder what she's doing now and why we haven't seen her.
Well, apparently she had small roles in the last drama was in 2018. Let me introduce her. And yeah, she basically, I don't know, maybe she's just like living her normal life. And they're not that old. Neither of them are that old. Like she's 35, he's 33.
Yeah.
So it must be, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Maybe she has other things in her life going on in her life.
As you
do. Yeah. What's the next show that you want to talk about?
I do have one in C. Do you have any in C?
The only one that I think I watched from here is Cunning Single Lady. Let's just say it's the only one I have memories of. Because it's possible that I've seen others. I just don't remember anymore. It's been 10 years.
Choyoung isn't ghost seeing detective Choyoung, because yes, it is. Okay, that was too scary for me. So to talk about Choyoung quickly, I tried to watch it because I was into ghostly detective shows. That year was a year for ghost detective shows. Wasn't that Taehyun drama that year as well? Who Are You?
That was 2015, I think. I think that was 2015. But yeah, around this time, there was also Ghost Detective, or was that later?
I watched that one. That was a bit later, I think.
Okay.
So,
this was the era of a lot of OCN dramas, wasn't it? This was OCN too.
Yeah. So I watched maybe one episode of this, or maybe half an episode, and then I got a bit scared.
It stars Oh Ji-ho. I haven't thought about him in years.
I haven't seen him in years. I think this would have been the only drama I ever saw him in.
Yeah, that's Oh Ji-ho.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, haven't seen him in ages.
He was one of those sort of old school first wave Hallyu kind of stars, right?
Yeah, the first time I saw him was in Fantasy Couple, or like Couple or Trouble. It was like that one of those original like Hong sister dramas. It had Han Ye-so, and it's like the Overboard, the Hollywood movie Overboard, the remake of that. I loved that drama, but he could not act. But he was just like handsome. He was a handsome carpenter, and like he was very like tall and strapping, so it really fit the role.
I remember Boroma watched Oh My Gumby, which he was in 2016. I don't know how he did in that though. But
is that the one where he has like the little daughter and they have like really cute father-daughter energy? I think that's
that's the one.
That was cute. I watched a couple of episodes of that. But yeah, he hasn't really left an impression on me, I will be honest.
It kind of just like quietly faded away, right?
So Cunning Single Lady.
Yeah. Or this was also called like Sly and Single Again, depending on
there's the poster. Yeah. Lee Min-jung and Ju Sang-wook.
This was his rom-com age. So he got like a string of rom-com hits in this kind of period, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so
wasn't he also, like you guys were talking about last time, he was in Birth of a Beauty as well?
Yeah, that's right.
I remember not really being that into this drama just because it was like divorced couples reuniting, and usually I'm like, like you should have just stayed divorced. You got divorced for a reason.
I also remember you really didn't like Seongjun in this.
Oh yeah. I hated him. Like this is during the era where I just like his face anyway, like just for no reason, which I'm sorry. It's really nothing to do with you, So Kang-joon, but like also like he was his role here as the second lead, he was like very smarmy. He was very like his attitude toward the female lead was very like, I'm doing you a favor. Aren't I rich and handsome? Don't you love me? And I was just like, ew, no, go away.
Is that I thought he was really charming, and I feel like this is like a perfect example of the difference between you and me. Like, I get taken in by the players, and you're like, I see right through you.
You mean my dark and cynical heart? But yeah, honestly, that's my strongest impression of this drama. It's just how much I disliked him.
It's funny to me that my strongest impression of it is how much you disliked him.
That's funny because, like, I don't think we were even friends in 2014. So this is like because of conversations we had later on, years later, when I saw So Jun and I was like, here, let me tell you about how much I dislike him in this show.
Yeah, because I again, like, Borma watched Are You Human too? I meant to, but I didn't get around to it. I think I had my one robot drama that year, which was the Yu Sin-ho one, and that was it. But like when I watched
all-time best robot drama,
it was, you know,
it was.
So it took like until 2019 for me to be like, So Jun, you're nice.
Well, I really like him now.
Yes, me too. And like, I'll Come to You When the Weather Is Fine. That
he was so good in that. Yes. Okay, let's move on to D.
Oh, that was a quick run through. See,
yeah,
you watched Discovery of Love, didn't you?
I did. Yes. So I was really excited for this because it was Eric and Junggyumi's reunion after. They were in Que Sera Sera together, which is like this really dark and dysfunctional 2008 drama about two people who really shouldn't have met, but they met and they fell in love, and they had this like really tumultuous and dark and like upsetting love story. And then even at the end, it's kind of an ambiguous ending. I mean, it's been many years. I can spoil it. Like, you don't really know what happens. Like, you can kind of interpret it in two ways, of them getting back together and them not getting back together. And I usually don't like that, but I think it was perfect for that drama. And they had electric, like, just incredible, not just like chemistry in the romantic sense, but like when they were on the same screen together as humans, like, I was just completely fascinated by them. All that to say, I was very excited when they were coming back in Discovery of Love. And this was, I think, was it the I Need Romance writer? The writer was someone that I was familiar with. Let me see. Who is the writer?
Yeah. I Need Romance 1, 2, and 3.
And then she also did 5 Children, which I really enjoyed. She did Romance is a Bonus Book, which we love. Yeah. Yeah. So a writer I enjoyed. I think the drama itself was pretty disappointing, I will say, like, because it's again reunited lovers. Was
it you who was saying recently about how that trope doesn't work for you?
It doesn't usually work for me. And I think, I can't remember the exact details, but I think in this drama, he shows back up in her life when she's like with someone, and it was very uncomfortably close to cheating. I can't remember if there was actually any, there was definitely some emotional infidelity. And I was just like, I don't know. This is, I mean, just because you have an unhappy relation. Also, she was with Sungjun. Like,
yeah, I just saw him. Oh, Sungjun was in this?
Yeah, he's the second lead, I think.
Kim Silgi was in this?
Yeah,
Who wasn't in this? Everyone was in this.
And I think the thing is that, like, a lot of times, having a conflict between new love and old love. So he shows up back in her life. I think he's like a furniture maker or something. I don't know. He has a cool job. He looks cool while he's doing his job. I think, like, the thing with reunited lovers is it's really hard to thread that needle of, like, you can justify why they broke up in the first place. Like, it's not just like some weird misunderstanding that would have been resolved if they had one conversation, which, like, that doesn't work. Like, there's a real reason. But then, like, you have to justify them getting back together after all these years when they're new people. And Like, why do these people still care about each other? A, and then B, like, why will there not be the same problem again? You know,
yeah,
I mean, like,
why didn't it work the first time?
Yeah, I think Our Beloved Summer does a really good job with that.
I still haven't watched it.
You still haven't watched it?
I haven't watched it. I've started it like 6 times. I've watched like the
As
first
someone
5
who
minutes
loves
6
Taoshik,
times.
it's perfect enough. But you know, like that one really deals with like the internal emotional life that you have to, or sort of like the internal emotional work and the relationship work that you have to do to like get to that place where you can be like, okay, it's worth starting this again. So I don't know.
I remember, oh gosh, who was it that said this? About like revisiting having a relationship again with someone you already broke up with is like putting on dirty underwear after you've had a shower. Who was it that said that?
So
I can't remember. Or like I used to say it's like warming over cold soup, and I think that's quite a common way to say it as well. But like, yeah, like you had a shower, you don't want to put your dirty underwear back on after that. Put that in the laundry, leave it there, get rid of it, it's done. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that in real life generally either. So the drama does have to make a case for it to be like, you know what, you need this shot is something that you need.
And I think the case can be made, but like not everyone is good at making that case. A lot of times they end up leaning on these like lazy tropes, and they rely on us to kind of they rely on the chemistry of the actors or the star power of the actors to like hand wave away a lot of that relationship stuff, and you can't do that.
God. Yeah, I feel like Pretty Nuna is like the best worst example of it.
Oh God,
the
Pretty Nuna.
Yes, like I become incoherent trying to talk about this. Everything that caused them to break up, like they needed to break up, they were better broken up. Not one of those things was resolved when they came back together, except they expected us to accept it because of the chemistry, because the chemistry was still there. But like everything else wasn't. None of your problems were solved. Why are you together? You should not be together.
Yes. Okay. But we can forgive. You need to forgive Jung Hae-in because he's like doing great work in Love Next Door right now. No, you need to watch Love Next Door.
I rewatched what do you call it? While You Were Sleeping, which reminded me that I did in fact like him. But like that, I still haven't gotten over Sonia Jin. Like I cannot watch her right now for many more years.
But you watched Crash Landing on You.
Yeah, but that was before. Was that not?
No, it was after.
Was it after?
I think, wasn't it? Okay, we're getting derailed. Let's go back to 2014. We need to go offline and check this, because I thought that you watched Crash Landing on You after
I did watch it, but I don't remember which one came first.
Yeah, I don't remember which one came first either. So, did you watch Doctor Stranger? Because I did not.
I watched 11 episodes of it. I remember this, and I think I stopped. Not because I didn't stop because it was bad. I stopped because I think it was Ramadan or something, and then I just didn't pick it up again. And I like to this day I'm still like, oh, should I go and finish that drama? And every time I suggest it, people are like, no, don't. Like, okay then. But it was, Lee Jung-suk is just good, no matter how bad the drama, he's good. And we talked about Jin Se-yeon recently, I think, in one of our long yaks. And Jin Se-yeon is not good, which is putting it quite generously. But it's also like, it's not only that she's not good, it's also that like what she had to work with was also really poor. So like she has this very impoverished character. As a character, it's impoverished, not like economically. But you have Lee Jung-suk, you have what's his name, City Hunter Dad. What's his name again? What's his name again?
Oh,
what's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Kim Sang-ho, right? No, that's somebody else. I do know his name, but I just can't remember it right now.
A solid veteran actor.
Yes.
I can't remember his name either, but he's a solid veteran actor.
I find it, so let me just find it quickly.
This is the one with the North Korean spy coming to South Korea or something.
Yeah.
Kim Sang-joon. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was what? So he's a doctor. He comes to South Korea. Like, what is the premise?
Lee Jung-suk is his son, I believe. And yeah, so he's sent to North Korea on a mission or something.
Oh, a
And then
South
like
Korean who was captured with his father and grows
yeah,
up in
and
North
then they were meant to
Korea.
be like killed, so they wouldn't make
Hmm.
it back. But they make it back, or at least Lee Jong Suk makes it back, and he he grows up to become the most amazing like cardiac surgeon or something.
Genius.
Yeah, and he can recognize people by their heartbeat, and that's how he recognizes
What?
Kim Seon, because he recognizes her heartbeat. Even
What?
though she's like, "I'm not who you think I am," and like she's absolutely rock solid on that whole like, "You don't know me, I don't know you. How dare you?" And he's like, "I know you because I know the sound of your heart." And then I think she died. No, so he thought she died, and so when he meets her again, like this person whose heartbeat is the same as hers and looks like her, he's like, it's got to be her, even though from his past she died, and he like she fell off a bridge or something, and he couldn't save her, and that was like, that's his great tragedy, that he couldn't save his lady love.
So
And
I
it,
mean, as we like, I know we're getting really granular into all these plot details, but like, was it a good drama though? Did you like it?
I think it was compelling. I
Mm-hmm.
think Jinseon is that at that time in this drama, she was that kind of actor who everything screeches to a halt when she's on screen. So that made it difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm having Gak Shital flashbacks as you say that. She was such a
you know, like whatever is dynamic, like in like whatever is naturally dynamic in a show, there are some actors who just kill it.
mm-hmm.
She's one of them, unfortunately. I don't know if she's better now.
Well, she's in that new Jaejung drama,
I,
and she's improved, but she hasn't improved that much. Let's
she
just
has,
say
you
that.
know, interestingly, I mean, interestingly, we don't know like what her backing or anything is, but she's been working solidly. She's always been in work in the last 10
Yeah,
years.
surprisingly, given
Given that
her
she's not
skill level.
really
Yeah, yeah.
moving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go
Cool.
to the next show. Is
Okay,
there
so
anything in E that
uh,
you watched?
we haven't finished it yet. I mean, I haven't watched Doctor Frost, but I did meet like I didn't
I have
finish it. I
no
started
memory
it.
of Dr. Frost.
So this was that actor. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he bleached his hair like white for this, and it was meant to be this interesting, exciting OCN thriller.
Song
Um,
Chang-li. I have no recollection of this at all.
oh, Jong In Che was in this. I didn't know who she was then. Interesting. Yeah, so I tried to watch it. It wasn't that interesting. I think it was Liar Game that made me want to watch this
His
because
hair
it's
looks
sort of
good.
yeah.
That's
The
all I have
concept
to
was
say.
it's still like sort of on my watch list. Although back when this came out, my drama list didn't exist. Maybe now I should go and look it up on MDL and see what its rating is.
It has one 5-star vote on D Addicts. So one person really liked it.
Yeah, this is the reason why me and Farmer talked about this last time. The reason why we sort of slowly migrated to using MDL rather than these sites, because the user reviews are really useful and the ratings are really useful. So that's it for D. Oh, E. Emergency Couple. Remember that one?
Yeah, I feel like I dropped it really
I think
quickly
we didn't hate
because
this. I remember.
again, leads that what are they like unhappily married, but they definitely like hate each other.
Yeah.
And I think at some point they're supposed to rekindle their romance, but I was just like, I hate this. The way he
Yeah.
yelled at her.
Yeah.
I think it was like Lee Pil-mo and Song Ji-hyo that were in this, right?
That's right. And Choi Jin-hyuk was the main lead. I remember this
Oh,
being
right.
something
Lee Pil-mo is like the husband that she's gonna leave, and then she was gonna have a romance with Chae Jin-hyuk. Yeah, I was like, I cannot wait for these two. It's like taking too long for them to break up. There we go. That's them.
You know, I remember enjoying this drama back then. I think I was a lot less discerning because it was 2014 and I was still in the kind of dramas. They're all new, they're all exciting, and I was still enjoying everything.
Yeah, there's definitely this like early period with K dramas that I had too, where I would just like I'd be like, well, I started it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Right. You're not allowed to drop it. But I mean,
Exactly.
I don't think I wanted to drop it. I was into it. But as I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't a
Hmm.
good drama. but I enjoyed watching it at the time because I was not as discerning as I am now. And yet there were some things that
Oh
like
wait, no. So Chae Jin-hyuk was her husband.
Oh right, yeah, he was.
But they got married and they got divorced
Yeah.
really
So
quickly, and then they
the
reunite when she's, I don't know if she's dating
I
the
don't
Lee
know.
Mo at the time. I don't know. Anyway, he's her bot. I don't know.
I think he's probably like the rival, right? The second lead.
He is the rival, but yeah, anyway. Okay. Ooh. Fated to Love You. Did you watch this?
I did.
Let's talk about Fated to Love You, because Fated to Love You was, I watched the Taiwanese version during the time when I was like extremely into Taiwanese dramas. I watched like the Taiwanese version of Hana Kimi. I watched It Started with a Kiss 1 and 2. Like really, just like that era had so many good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fated to Love You was extremely ridiculous, but it was actually really good. It was very cheesy, but I enjoyed it a lot. And then they did this Korean remake starring Jang Hyuk and Jang Nara, and it was
reunion. This one was because they had previously co-starred in a Successful Story of a Bright Girl or something, an earlier drama.
I don't know if I watched that one.
I didn't watch it, but I remember it came up a lot. Like people talked about it a lot, and it was a reunion for them. Did they have another reunion after this? I couldn't feel like they did.
I feel like they did, but I honestly cannot remember. But like, if you don't remember the premise of this, basically like they have a one night stand while they're both on like some random cruise ship.
And they
through some very like it's like a very ridiculous way it happens. Like she's not wearing her glasses, so she doesn't recognize. It's like just like completely ridiculous.
She was sleeping with her boyfriend, and
yes,
this like cable guy.
Right, he's super rich. She's just some beleaguered office worker who just like has a tough life, and then she gets pregnant, and then they get married. I think for the sake of the baby. But then she's like has to kind of fit into his life as a rich person, and he has like a grandma who has all these expectations. She like moves into his mansion, and I mean, I think this one was a lot. It had a much higher production value than the Taiwanese drama. The chemistry between the leads was like, I think, just as good as the Taiwanese version, but it did something kind of, the way that it dealt with this like large climactic plot point that is kind of like the big conflict between them, which is like 3/4 through the drama. It takes it further than where it went in the Taiwanese drama in a way that I found like really upsetting.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't forgive this show for that. So despite, you know, the like cute little like snail memes and you know, his suits and his weird effect that was really hilarious.
The OST was really good.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things about it that were really good. Her acting was really, I mean, Jang Nara was amazing in this role. She was excellent, but I just couldn't forgive the drama for, I just felt like it went too far for the sake of drama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, how can you come back? Like, as a couple, how can they come back from this? They can't. It's over, you know? Sometimes K-dramas just go too far.
Yeah, it crosses over from being like real, like emotional realism into sort of manipulating the audience into, you know, like I mean, of course, like all emotion is manufactured when it comes to like these fictional things, but there's a level, like, you know, there's that sort of naturalistic one, and then there's we're just doing this to hurt you.
Yeah, and also like there's a limit to how much conflict you can introduce between a couple where you are no longer are rooting for them to be together because they make each other so miserable, and you're like, well, maybe they should just break up. Like, why do I want them? Why am I rooting for them?
Yeah, you know, there was, I think this was kind of the enduring problem with so many of the romances at this time, is that, or at all times, I think, actually, like you have this really good build up, and then it comes to that sort of last quarter and you ruin it with a badly placed conflict, or a conflict that doesn't fit the sort of the timbre of the show from like the thing that you've built. It just you disrespect your story by giving it this sort of bad conflict instead.
Yeah, and you disrespect like the emotion that the viewers have invested up until now, right? Which is kind of like not to keep harping on Pretty Nuna, but like that's kind of what happened with that too, right?
Absolutely. Pretty Nuna
Yeah.
is such a case study in everything not to do in a romance. God, it still makes me so angry, and it's been like what 5 years. God, I hate it so much. You know, the reason you hate it more is because it had begun so well. If it had been like sort of mediocre mid from the beginning, all the way,
Yeah, it's those disappointed expectations, right?
But
Okay.
also because you have like the writer is telling you that they have a lot of sort of emotional intelligence, and then they go and like destroy it, which just is like a big fu. Like it really feels like that. Like ha, yeah.
Do you have any more under F that you want to talk about, or should we move to G?
I did watch Flower Grandpa.
Did you? I barely remember that this even came out.
Like he chose, and this was. Do you remember when they were doing like Grandpas Over Flowers, which I actually didn't really watch. I just kind of.
I watched Grandpas Over Flowers. That was that was so cute. It was just. Oh my goodness! Oh yes, this happened.
Yeah, and funnily, this kind of reminded me of like Detective Conan. Like it was a very, you know how you have in those kinds of like long running, they're not procedurals exactly, but like, are you familiar with how Detective Conan works?
I am not. I will confess.
It's probably like literally much the same way as any sort of serial detective show, series, whatever. But you kind of have repetitive cases, but like just some of the details change. So it's not particularly exciting after a few goes, like a few runs through the wheel. But also it was kind of nonsensical because I think one wasn't it that they were young and then they were in a lab and
so there's 4 of them, and then something happens and 3 of them become grandpas, and Heechul stays the same because why else would you cast Heechul unless you're gonna have him on screen?
And so that's why it reminded me of Detective Conan, because that's what happens to the main character of Detective Conan. Like his name is Shinichi. He gets zapped and becomes like a kid, like a little what do you call it, a grade schooler type of kid. So he initially is a teenager, like this teenage detective, supreme, amazing, genius boy. And then, he's drugged somehow or something, I can't remember right now. I was really into Conan for years. And then he becomes a child, and then the whole thing, and then that kind of backburner, like that plot is sort of your back burner core plot, while episode to episode you have these sort of whodunits.
Yeah, and I can see why this reminds me of Grandpa's Over Flowers too, because it's like one young guy and a bunch of older men, like old men, and he kind of has to like put up with all of their stuff.
It was very funny. I do remember it being really funny. Oh, I don't remember Jong In-ji being in this though.
Was she?
Like, yeah, it wasn't like a big deal drama. I watched it. I enjoyed it while I watched it, and I never thought about it again.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it came out on like a big network. Oh, it was TVN.
Yeah, it was TVN. I do remember that.
Wow.
This was like who wrote it? So they had all of these what do you call it? Cameos and stuff from people you would have recognized them, but because I didn't really know all of the people at that time, I probably wouldn't have recognized them at that time.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Lots of cameos and special. Sam Hamilton. Wow. I haven't thought about him in a long time.
Right. I just saw his name like, oh, that's definitely a name Hamilton.
Yeah, that was that era where there were like these random people and people were like, wow, you speak Korean. You like Korean people. Come on TV. Have a random cameo on this show. Yeah, that was a wild time.
I think, doesn't he have like a YouTube show with his kids or something right now. I think I saw like a Stray Kids
I
episode.
have no idea what he's doing right now. I know he got married to a Korean woman.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's like totally fluent in Korean as well.
hmm.
So,
Yeah, like he settled there. He's made a home
yeah,
there. It's like
yeah,
not very unusual anymore. Like a lot of
yeah.
people do that.
It
It's
was a
not the
novelty
novelty
then.
that it
Yeah.
used to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Should we move on to the
Oh,
next show?
I do want to talk about the next. You know which one I'm going to say, right? I've pretty much been talking about this drama for like 10 years.
God's
God's
Gift,
Gift,
14
14
days.
days. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I do know.
Oh man,
Although I still haven't seen it.
this was my first Yosemite drama. And you know how like I need people to be scruffy detectives? Well, it was my first Yosemite drama and he's a scruffy detective. And it's time travel and it's a thriller and
Mm.
it was really good.
All of the Saya catnips.
Oh, so there is a controversy about this show, which is the ending.
Which is why I've
And
never seen it.
yeah, but you know the interesting
Yeah.
thing is the first time I watched it, I also was really destroyed by the ending. I hated it, and I was like, "This is not right." I rewatched it a few years ago, and I a new woman. It's like I understand it now. It makes sense to me, and it works. And I also have like a 90% written essay about like a defense of this drama's ending. Me and my unfinished
Come on,
essay.
share your essays.
I haven't
Are you
finished
hoarding
it.
this wealth to yourself?
Oh. In any case, I am very like I think that it is like it's not it's not ambiguous exactly, but it is an ending that makes sense, and it's not what people think it is. That's kind of my takeaway from watching it the
So that's
second
your pitch.
time.
Because I remember, like, I didn't watch this as it was airing, but I remember people really loving it as it was
Yeah.
airing, and then I remember hearing the
Mr.
absolute
Yeah.
backlash when it ending came, and I was like,
And
okay,
I
I'm
was
not gonna
one of
watch
those
this.
people as well. I was like, I felt really betrayed. But I think that was a hasty judgment because, as I say, the rewatch made me see it quite differently. And I don't like the drama didn't change. I just was able to understand it more clearly. And it was such a good mystery. Like it was really, really well done. I recommend it. I highly, strongly recommend it. And if anyone wants to come and talk to me about the ending and hear the defense, I'm here. I'm ready. You know, they did a remake of this, like an American remake of this, which is actually
Really?
on Netflix right now.
Hmm.
I can't remember what it's called. Um, but it's not as good. This is really good.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, remakes generally just can't do it.
sometimes they can, like rarely. But I think sometimes it's also like putting things into English just makes it a little less cool. I don't know. Like it doesn't feel as emotionally, you know.
Yeah, and I guess also like if you've already seen and had a really deep emotional relationship with one version of the story already, how can you ever have the same kind of experience with a remake? Because
Yeah,
like regardless of how good the remake is, like you already know the story and you already love a version of it. So
yeah.
that's another thing. Like I don't know, a lot of times remakes are worse, but also it's
I
not the
think if
story that you
you,
loved first. So
yeah, I think if you have distance from a remake and you let the remake sort of stand on its own feet, you can see whether it works for you or not. Like I was
mm.
trying to watch a Signal remake, the Thai version, I think. I've been trying to watch it on and off for like a couple of years at this point. And it's good. Like there are things that I think it does better in
Hmm.
uh in the
Sacrilege.
remake. Well, you know, there's a couple of things about the original that aren't perfect. Like Lee Ji-hoon's overacting and stuff. Um, and that is like
Really?
my number one all-time favorite drama. So I can, you
I
know,
think,
I
yeah, I'd be interested to watch it and see. I also am like curious how they dealt with the ending.
I haven't got there yet.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I do think the problem is that you would struggle to have that same emotional connection. That's true. And sometimes I feel in English the dialogue can get really clunky and like you're like nobody speaks like that in real life. Please go and fix your dialogue. This is
Yeah, I mean, it's also like it's hard to It's hard to translate the spirit of a drama over to a new culture. Like, you can translate the text and the plot, but translating the feeling and the tone and the personality and the spirit of a drama is something else. Sometimes you just can't replicate that magic.
Yeah, there's a just like, because I haven't said what the plot is, there's like a one-line synopsis, which is it's a time slip drama about a mother who goes back 14 days in time to save her daughter from being kidnapped and murdered. It's like, if you are interested in thrillers and you like time travel, this is very good. I recommend. This one definitely stands up.
Yeah, and we didn't mention, but it also stars Lee Bo-young, right? We love Lee Bo-young.
Did I say that? Sorry.
Yes, she also was in I Can Hear Your Voice. And what else did we really love her in? Yeah, she's been in a lot of good shows.
Yeah, we loved her in lots of things. But I didn't love her in a bunch of things as well.
Well, she works a lot, so, you know, not everything can be a winner. She's done a lot of good shows. She's done Mother. Didn't you say that she was really good in Mother? My Daughter So Young was a really popular. I don't know if it was good, but it was very popular.
Yeah, I remember it being really popular. Whisper was a horrible drama. She's always good, but the drama was horrible. I haven't seen her recently. Probably God's Gift was the last drama. Mother was the last drama I saw her in, probably.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a lead role since I Hear Your Voice, actually. Yeah.
Go and watch God's Gift. She can actually be a little, like, she can get on your nerves in this drama, but that's to do with how she's written, not to do with the acting. And also, it all works out in the end.
Any other G's that you want to talk about? I didn't watch really anything else under G.
Yeah, but I think we should save this because I think we've hit our time limit, and I'm not going to do Golden Cross or Just Them quickly.
Yes, that's right. So we're going to wrap up now, but we'll come back, right? We have a lot of letters to get through. We're only
I
on G.
watched a bit of God's Quiz, but I couldn't finish it. Like another one of those OCN procedurals that didn't quite work for me. But like, it was good to see, like, what's his name, Yudok-Kwon in a lead role. But yeah, I'm not a fan of procedurals. I actually really don't like them. But I tried this because it had a really good rating.
I like procedurals, but I don't think procedurals are K-drama's strength. I think K-drama's strength lies elsewhere.
But interestingly, it's from the writer of Vincenzo.
So, really?
Yeah. Maybe that's why I went back and tried to watch it. I can't remember when I tried to. It was quite recently. But I just struggled with it.
Not only Vincenzo, but The Fiery Priest, Chief Kim, also dramas that I loved.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah. Sorry, after saying it wasn't good.
Yeah. It's all good. Thanks for joining us. This was really fun. Thanks for letting me join this time, Saya, after excluding me last time.
That was like the most unintentional thing ever. I feel so bad.
That's okay.
Me and Barbara were just like, we're here, we're dressed up, but like, we couldn't find the brain juice to do the thing that we'd come for. And so then we thought it would be easy to just open the vault and start.
It's all good. You didn't get to Misang, so I can forgive you. If you had talked about Misang without me, then it would have been like...
Yeah, I mean, you and Barbara both need to be here. Because that's... And like, Hilo will probably be the next one, right? So
I think so, yeah.
Don't do Hilo without me.
Yeah, we won't, yeah. We got to have all three of us next time.
Yes.
We'll try.
We'll have to give ourselves more time as well.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
Yay.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.